Have you ever looked at a language like Finnish and just thought, whoa, where would I even begin? Well, today we're going to crack the code. But we're not going to do it with boring vocabulary lists. Instead, we're going to uncover its beautiful internal logic by looking at a few of its most common idioms. And this, right here, this is our whole philosophy for today. So seriously, relax. Forget about trying to memorize everything. Think of Finnish less like a mountain of rules and more like a toolkit, full of these elegant, logical building blocks. Our job is just to see how they fit together. Okay, so let's open up this toolkit. We're going to start with a phrase that's probably familiar to you no matter what language you speak, just to see how these Finnish building blocks actually work. All right, here are the first few tools we're pulling out of the box. We've got the words for cold, warm, hand, and heart. Pretty straightforward, right? These are the basic components we're about to assemble. So we have the parts, but how do they actually connect? This next bit is like our instruction manual, and the first rule is all about making sure our words match up to create this really neat logical phrase. So the saying is about hands, plural. In Finnish, one hand is käsi. To talk about more than one, it simply becomes kädet. It's a really clean, simple change. That's our first step. Now, here's where the elegance of Finnish really starts to shine. It's this core principle. If your noun is plural, like kädets, then any adjective you use to describe it has to become plural too. They have to agree with each other. It's all about harmony. And you can see exactly how that works right here. We take our adjective for cold, which is kylmä. To make it match the plural kädet, we just pop a little T on the end. And boom, you get kylmät. The adjective is now perfectly in sync with the noun. And there you have it. We've assembled our first phrase. Kylmät kädet, lämmin sydän. And notice this, sydän, the heart, is singular, so lämmin, the word for warm, stays singular too. See how that works? Everything just matches perfectly. All right, let's level up. We're going to add a new, really powerful kind of tool to our kit. We're talking about grammatical endings that you can literally just snap right onto words to add all sorts of meaning. Okay, check this out. In English, we say out of sight. But look at the Finnish way, it's much more literal. Away from the eyes. So instead of using separate little words like out of, Finnish just modifies the word for eyes itself. It's incredibly efficient. And this is that new tool in action. You take the basic word for eye, silmä, and you just attach the ending ista. That one little ending does all the work of from the, and it even makes it plural. How cool is that? Okay, your turn. We know the ending for from the mind is going to work the same way, becoming mielestä. And we know the word for away is poissa. So take a second. How would you build the full phrase? That's it. Poissa silmissä, poissa mielestä. See? Once you understand the logic of that one little ending, you can construct the entire phrase yourself. It's a totally predictable and elegant system. So now that we've got a few tools in our kit, the really fun part is seeing how we can reuse them and combine them with new parts to create even more common phrases. Time for a quick pop quiz. You've already mastered the word for hands, that's kädet. And this new word on screen, ylös, means up. So how would you put those two building blocks together to say hands up? Exactly. Kädet ylös. Simple, direct, and you built it with parts you already had in your toolkit. All right, let's quickly add a few more useful tools to the kit. We've got right, left, tongue, and foot. Just keep these in the back of your mind as we look at our next example. And this is just fascinating. In both Finnish and Spanish, the way to say someone speaks bluntly is that they have no hairs on the tongue. The underlying cultural idea is identical, even if the grammatical tools used to build the phrase are completely different. So, as we start to wrap up, let's just zoom out for a second and think about the big picture here. What have we really been learning about language today? And this really gets to the heart of it. Every time you assemble these pieces, adding a plural T or snapping on a case ending like ista, you're not just following some arbitrary rule. You are actively using the language's own internal logic to build and express meaning. So if you take one thing away from this, it's this. Finnish grammar isn't some scary barrier you have to get over. It's a creative engine. It's a toolkit filled with these logical pieces that, once you understand how they work, you can use to construct complex ideas with real precision and elegance. And that leaves us with a final thought. This whole idea of a toolkit isn't unique to Finnish at all. Every language has one. So the next time you speak, just think about it for a second. What are the surprising, logical tools that your own language uses to build its world?